Gruesome Magazine.
Hello once again, I am your host, Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Daivd, Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are reviewing Vicious Fun, which is streaming on SHUDDER. Might be a movie just for you. All right, we'll find out tonight. Joining me this week is the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent.
Excellent. Are you in a 12-step program?
Oh boy.
That's
I threw you, didn't I?
Anonymously.
Anonymously.
I can't tell
Phenomena.
you.
Phenomena. Also joining us tonight is Crystal Cleveland, Living Dead Girl. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm wonderful. I mean, I'm excited about this one. Like, this is fun.
This is going to be fun.
This is some vicious fun.
Vicious fun. Even better. We like it when it's vicious fun, right? All right. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to give our initial thoughts. We'll be spoiler free during that time. Then we're going to discuss the film, and that time we will get into spoilers. And there are spoilers to be had. And then and then we'll get into our final thoughts, our score, 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And you'll want to stick around for that. So let's get into it. What's the card say? Yes, Vicious Fun. Available streaming on Shudder beginning June 29th, 2021. Director is Cody Calahan. Written by Cody Calahan along with James Villenueve. Villenueve.
The
cast, the cast includes Evan Marsh, Amber Goldfarb, Ari Millen, Julian Richings again. I think that is a month in a row. Robert Maillet.
Spare parts.
Yeah, and we've had him before as well. Sean Baek, Daivd, spelled incorrectly, but it's still Daivd. Koechner, Alexa Rose Steele. Synopsis: Joel, a caustic 1980s film critic for a national horror magazine, finds himself unwittingly trapped in a self-help group for serial killers. With no other choice, Joel attempts to blend in or risk becoming the next victim. And that's probably just the first act, just to let you know. All right, let's find out what our first impression of Vicious Fun is. Jeff, you, sir, are up first.
Well, I imagine this isn't too original, but in fact, every review of this probably starts off the same, but Vicious Fun is vicious fun. I mean, it is one of the most perfectly titled movies I've seen. And it was interesting to me because I had reviewed one of Cody Calahan, the director's films, like 3.5 years ago called Let Her Out. But I think Vicious Fun, and I enjoyed that, but I think Vicious Fun is a huge step up. It's a neat twist on serial killers in general, or even a twist on the Dexter from the TV show. I love the acting. I mean, it's Evan Marsh, who plays Joel. He's a really cringy but lovable dork. I mean, he really pulls it off, I thought. I mean, he was like, I was cringing. Yeah. Oh, God. Because I would cringe if I said and did a lot of the stuff he did. And, of course, I always loved Daivd. Is it Koechner? And then Julian Richings, which he mentioned, and Robert Maillet, who we've seen a lot.
Yes.
The big tall guy from professional wrestling. And oh my God, I love the three cops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me too.
I thought,
yeah.
the one guy that couldn't get his gun out of his holster no matter what, and then always, was blustery to. And it was funny.
Three Stooges of Copdom, yeah.
Yes, and those were Christopher Bowman, Mark Gibson, and John Frey. So I enjoyed the heck out of this. Lots of good. Gore, lots of good action, lots of good. It was funny. So yeah,
it was funny. Yes. All right, Crystal, you're up next. What is your first impression of Vicious Fun?
So, I agree. I really like this movie. So, first, let me say, the cinematography, the lighting, and the music And the sound design mixer, whoever did, oh my God, it's all so good. So good. Like, I actually found myself like, this is really nice lighting. Like, they had the perfect, like, teal and orange going on. I mean, the shot movements were great. The sound was awesome. Like, a lot of times you get, where it's just the mixing is bad. No, it was so freaking good. And normally it doesn't jump out to me that much, but it was that good that it jumped out to me. So that's where I want to start. Anyway, the story is really funny. And just when I thought, I was like, well, wow, I kind of felt like the movie was going to go in a completely different direction than it did. And I thought that they were kind of going to keep it in this one location. And then I guess about halfway through, I don't know, everything gets flipped and it becomes something completely different, which I loved as well. Maybe even more. I like the evolution of the main character. Funny enough, though, I felt like his acting was the weakest of them all. I didn't dislike him. Don't get me wrong. Let's just say that Ari Millen. Oh my god, I love Orphan Black. I don't know if y'all have seen Orphan Black out there, but just know that you must watch Orphan Black because he has a huge part in Orphan Black. And
is he really?
Fabulous. He is so talented. And in this, I'm like, ah! I actually, at first, when I saw him, I almost didn't recognize him. I was like, God, he looks, oh my gosh. He is so good. I just think he is just phenomenal. So, of course, I love Julian. I mean, and I gotta say, Julian is usually so stoic in everything.
Yes.
And there were multiple moments in this where and I'm like, I would love to see more of that. I found it so much fun. I really dug it.
Yeah, he almost plays two different characters, right?
Yeah. Which makes sense. Is the moment he puts on his clown mask, he's someone different.
He's not analytical, right? So.
Yeah, I like how they, kind of parodied the different types of killers in movies and stuff, and the cops were a riot. It all is a little bit of a parody of every character.
A little bit, you think?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was like as over the top as it could have been, and I think it was done perfectly. It was because they did have some good gore. Like they had some gore that made it kind of dirty, not in a bad way, in a good way, of course, because I like dirty. Anyway, so. Anyway, so try the view. I'll be here all week. Anyway, so overall, I liked it a lot, if that's not obvious. I really liked it. I really had fun with this. I think I would absolutely watch it again. When it comes on Shudder, I'll watch it again. I
can't wait to see it again. Yeah. But that's the thing about this film for me is that I immediately wanted to watch it again. And it felt like when you rented those 80s films and or early 90s and you just had a ball with it, right? And you wanted to watch it again. To me, this movie hit all the right buttons. It is definitely a horror comedy. It's high on the parody and satire are in here. The comedy is at times hilarious. The body language on some of the characters is just too much in a great way. I mean, every character is at 11, right? They're all more, like you said, like one is doing very much the Gacy kind of killer. Mm-hmm. Another one's doing, just the Jason Voorhees type of killer. Another one's the Japanese.
Oh, the killer. Cannibal,
the cannibal killer
type. Yeah.
And then another one is American Psycho. American Psycho to the T, right?
Yes.
And
I love Ari. Oh my god.
And the performances, there are performances in here. Ari's one of them that would not work in another film, but are incredibly perfect for this film. I mean, so Ari is my favorite thing about as well, right? The Bob character, and because it's just there are just comedic shots of him. Like he gets hit with a bedpan or something, and he just goes. The face goes. Oh,
Yes.
that would not work anywhere else, but here it's absolutely brilliant. And
his death. What? Okay, see, no, I gotta stop. I'm gonna keep cutting you off.
Good spoilers, but there are so much. So much going on. But it's all right. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of bloodshed and a lot of death. There's some great deaths in here, and they just go all out sometimes. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I wasn't sure what to make of it from the trailers. It felt like I would like it, but I wasn't 100% sure because I didn't get the full gist of the comedy and the vibe of the satire in it. But man, I am a huge fan of this film, and I'm going to be talking about it for some time.
I agree. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on my top 10.
I don't know how it's not going to be. It's just so much fun. And I will say that Ari steals the entire movie because not at first, like when he's Bob, the real estate guy, he's okay. But when he becomes Bob the serial killer, and he's having to deal with everybody else and not wanting to, it is so brilliant. And like when he turns around and the one guy scares him, and he turns around the other way, and the other guy scares him. I mean, it's like it's just the greatest performance.
So stupid. I loved it. Yeah.
And of course, our female lead, is so strong. Amber Goldfarb as Carrie. We get introduced to her right away at the before credits scene, and we had no idea what's going on. Of course, but then we recognize her when she's on the phone and our Joel character bumps into her. But I didn't really know what was going to happen with this film until after that, when he wakes up and he goes around the corner and we find out what's happening, and he just sits down. He has no other choice, and he's got him kind of fooled until Bob shows up.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, answer his question. Come on, you could come up with something. But but see, the problem is that guy's his character is way too smart, and he could totally tell he's lying.
Oh, Bob, yeah, Bob knew from the get-go, yeah. That's the thing is, Bob was,
he's the Ted Bundy of the group. I mean, if you want to talk real killers, like, and what's funny is, I love that she clearly knew that,
but she didn't care,
and then she's like, "Who else would he be?" Of course, you don't know that until after the fact, but
Well, she knew because there was more than one reason why she would know.
Yep.
But the Daivd Koechner, because he's the leader of the group in the beginning, and oh my God, the way he's so snarky, and it always comes back around to him about that he's so superior. I've killed so many more people than you have. Shut up. And it's just, but
so the only thing that kills me is maybe they have a second movie in the works or something, because
they certainly left it open, didn't they?
We did not find out about Mr. Midnight, or was it Mr. Midnight or something? Yeah.
And I feel like Utah got exposed, but I didn't really know if I followed what it was.
I'm like,
she killed them all. The Utah,
was she Utah? Here? Was she Utah?
She killed, in her book, all the names in Utah were scratched off. So she killed them all.
Except Utah.
Yeah.
Was it Utah?
No, Utah was in Utah.
So Utah was Utah, not a character.
Not a person.
Yes. Well, the way it was written, I thought it was a character. But anyway, go ahead.
No, but Mr. Midnight is not wrapped up. That is not a
right.
That's not.
Well, and she had a whole
like,
book of names, and I'm like going, Mr. Midnight,
and there is a organization, maybe.
Oh yeah, I know there's so much that could be done. I'm like, I'm kind of. really hoping they'll go with more.
I could watch a Vicious Fun too. Vicious Funnier.
Yeah, I mean it, and they could go in a completely different direction. I mean, come on.
But this one is, I mean, we've said satire, we say parody, and those are different forms of that kind of thing. But slapstick, I mentioned they were the three Stooges, the cops.
Yeah.
And and of course Bob. There's very much slapstick in this, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah. At points there is. I mean, I don't want to give
nothing else,
any
the
of that
cops
away,
are slapstick.
but
I mean,
the cops are definitely Bob.
I mean,
too.
come on. One of my favorite scenes is a horror journalist. Oh my god, horror journalist. Horror film movie reviewer. Where and then you get into the subgenres where that can be really what. Like whatever that whole little like monologue bit. I was like, yes, I approve that. Yeah, it's so funny.
but then when he gives it this
speaking
title,
to us, it's good to cater to your
exactly
audience.
Exactly right. And when he gives his title, though, it's like assistant copy editor for something. It's like a long title it's a long ways down the line. But I loved it. I loved the whole idea and the guy's outlook and his mannerisms.
I want to circle back around to Julian Richings because we've talked about him quite a few times in the past year. Spare Parts just recently, and he's like you said, he's very stoic. He still has an air of comedy about him, even when he's doing things. There's just an aloofness to him. But what was it? The dirt is dry, right? But in this film, he plays that same character at the beginning, and then, like you said, he switches it up after he goes into full character. And there's a scene where he almost dances through the film after that. There's a scene where he opens up the door for Sarah when she shows up.
Oh yeah,
and he
pops in.
He goes in, turns it, and he flips around and gets all the way. And because all you can see is a shadow, and it's obviously him because nobody else has his profile. But I just loved his performance in this.
But okay, come on, because even this was funny. Oh, my light went off.
Yeah.
He did
He did the
I wanted to just sit there with it, but yeah, and he reminded me of a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like just being, little kid like pain in the butt.
Yeah, and then it would have some comedy that like the Ice Cube thing didn't really. I mean, it's okay. Some people will think it's funnier where he eats Ice Cube out of the.
Right.
The thing, and of course there's a body in there, and
Well, that was I thought that was a funny running gag,
yeah.
though, how he gagged on all that stuff. I thought that was.
I didn't think it was meant to be. Yeah, I am totally with Jeff. I think the first throw up was freaking hilarious on the phone.
Oh yes,
come on. When he did it on the phone, I died. I was like, actually, I wrote that down as one of my favorite scenes because it's that funny.
And then when they followed it up, right? When they followed
and
it
then
up with the
so every time,
off the phone.
It wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be less and less funny. It was just meant to be there to show part of his character. Right. So I was,
Yeah, I like the phone sparked and started to smoke.
Yes.
There's a lot of. Well, okay. So one last thing before we wrap it up is the arcs. Do the characters have arcs? Now, Joel, of course, has to grow a pair. That's basically what he's doing here.
Oh,
right?
he has the biggest arc for sure.
What did we think of that? What did we think about because he's pining over Sarah, but at the end, he kind of falls for Carrie, right?
I don't think he just grows a pair. I think he realizes that he's pining over someone who has no desire to be with him. I mean, I think it finally clicks. She's just not that into you, and it's okay.
Yep. He's definitely in the friend zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Carrie had an arc too. I mean,
she softened.
Yeah,
and realized she needed help. I think she's
not a huge arc, but it's an arc.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's discovery because we didn't know who she was. We were introduced to her as just somebody that stabbed people. But speaking of that, when she's going, And Joel's like going,
Whoa. Yeah.
I don't think I would like Joel as much or Evan Marsh as much if his reactions weren't so on point, like that one and stuff. There, some of his stuff at the beginning, the cringeworthiness of it was almost like, oh, I don't want to watch this.
It was too much.
Yes. But I thought that was it's good writing and good acting combined.
It turned out to be, yes.
I would have loved to have seen another female that she would have had to go up against, like maybe a Black Widow type.
Yeah, definitely for the sequel, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, we're demanding a sequel at this point. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're still hanging out with us and enjoying this review, which we hope you are, we have many more on the site. Check them out. If you want to help us out, it's easy and free to do. Share with a friend or simply subscribe. And we are trying to reach our goal of subscribers. And if you can do that, we'll get there faster. Yeah.
Yay.
If you want to leave some comments after you see this film on Shudder, because you have Shudder, we know you have Shudder, and we know you'll watch this. Let us know what you think down below. Let's get into it. Jeff, you are up first, sir. What is your final thoughts, your score, and your favorite scene?
Well, you definitely got to watch this, and it's on Shudder, correct?
Yes, it is.
So yeah, go watch this, and it's such a perfect embodiment of the title.
True.
That's the best way to describe it. It's vicious and it's fun. In fact, I think it's like one of those movies that's sort of pitch perfect in terms of what it's trying to be. Every part about it kind of fits perfectly where it's going. So I'm giving this a 4.5. And favorite scene.
Which one do you choose?
Yeah, there's a lot.
No, I think I'm not
Don't
mixing
take
this
mine.
up. Am I? I'm going to take the. I won't. The 60 penny nail to the forehead.
Yes.
Oh,
my God.
God, that was that's a scene.
There's Julian Richings again. Yep.
But the end of that too, where it had the drag and then the little sound, it was done so. It was edited.
Yeah. No, I mean there was so much of it. So anyway, I just thought that was cool. Now that's a nail.
That's a nail.
Yeah.
All right, Crystal, you're up next. Your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene.
I'm also giving it a 4.5. So, and I think I've said how much I really, really like this movie. Obviously, I don't know if I watch it again, I might even want to give it more. But I'm going to go with the 4.5 because it's totally, that's an amazing score. And my favorite scene, and it's because I love Ari. I could just watch him all day. He's so crazy and so weird, and I love weird. So quarter, and then the jukebox dance.
Oh my gosh! I died.
That plays through though, right? Doesn't he do that too with the phone or something? It's just.
I literally
So
laughed out loud
funny.
as soon as he wiggles his butt.
Yes. He's like,
Oh my god! It was absolutely
that's
perfect.
so funny. Oh God, he's so douchey. I love it.
And the other guys are just like on.
Ugh. But when he throws the quarter to, I'm like, that's so ridiculous. It's the whole scene. It's very good.
Yeah, that dance was that dance is exactly why that and the coat later is why American Psycho is what comes to my mind.
Oh yeah, good point.
So
Is this waterproof?
Yes, I absolutely love this movie. I think it is perfectly structured, perfectly cast. It's incredibly well made. The director is showing some chops here. I'm going to circle back around and say the cast again, because it really is. The cast in this is superb. Everybody is great, and that you feel it. You feel the chemistry between them. You feel the comedic timing between them. It is funny. It is gory. It's not scary, although they play at the scares, right? Like when he turns around and he's got the flashlight to his face that scares him, and then he turns around and it's Robert Maillet.
So ridiculous.
it is. I know that I kind of wish Christopher G. Moore could have watched this because I think Christopher G. Moore.
Yes,
would
I
love
was
this
actually thinking about that as I was watching it. I was like, Christopher would love this.
Yes, I'm giving it a 4.75.
Oh yeah.
And my favorite scene.
Excellent.
My favorite scene. I said it earlier. It's going to be anything involving Bob once Bob is Bob and not the real estate agent, but when he's Bob the serial killer. And when he gets hit that one time and he just does this like knocked out face and chin
like,
straight up in the
over
air.
Yeah, it's like
oh yeah, I know. It's just like that is the perfect physical comedy. And that's what I'm talking about. That scene is slapstick.
Okay, maybe it is really over the top.
That is slapstick. And that would not work in many films. But it's perfect in this film. It is absolutely. And I'm going to give a bonus one. And I'm going to give a shout out to Joel, Evan Marsh in this one. Because our Carrie character finds herself in dire straits. And of course, Joel is always the weenie, right? He's very much scared. But he takes a knife to the arm. And it is
a
great shot.
Oh,
and a
it was
great
so
moment.
romantic.
Yes. A great moment for him. And followed up with
like
an even funnier scene when they pull it out. And
Yes.
he's yelling at I hate you. No, I don't. I do hate you. No, I don't.
Okay, that was super relatable. That's super relatable because I'm so that person. I was like, you are the biggest. No, I don't really feel that way. I'm so sorry. You're fine.
I hate you. No, I don't hate you. Yes, check this out. Leave us some comments down below. We want to hear what you think of this film. I can almost guarantee I'm going to be talking about this in December. I really love this movie. All right.
Me too.
And I wish my brother Dave was here to say how much he loved it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is
he would love this movie.
Yes. All right. Jeff, Crystal, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun.
Totally.
Excellent. Yeah, no, it was a good film.
Let's say goodbye.
Definitely
Good
fun.
night.
Fun to talk about.
It's just fun.
It's just fun to talk about. Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.